Hey, it's Wilco the Kreij here from connectio.io, and in this video I'm going to share with you how to make sure that your very first Facebook ad is actually going to be profitable. And yes, I know a lot of people are struggling with that because there's a lot of competition on Facebook, but if you do it the right way, you can definitely make sure that your first ad is actually profitable, as unlikely as that actually seems. Because as I mentioned, there's a lot of competition out there, but once you're at the point where you actually spend $1 on Facebook ads and you get $2 or even $3 back out, I can tell you, I can say it's a lot of fun, but the reality is the moment I first experienced that, it really changed it for me, because that's when I realized that, once you have something like that, it's actually very scalable. It's not so much, just spending $1, but then you start to spend 10, and then you start to spend 50 and 100. And right now I spend over $1 million on Facebook ads for my own money, for our own products, to promote connectio.io and to promote viral.com. And we've been doing that consistently at a profitable rate. And part of that is because of what I'm about to share with you in this video. Because at Connectio, we actually help Facebook advertisers to grow and make their ads more efficient, spend less time on them while making sure they're more profitable. And by doing that, I'm in interaction with a lot of different Facebook advertisers, including some that are at the start of their journey, who haven't really started advertising yet, but they want to and they see the opportunity, but they're not really sure how, or they've just tried and it's just not profitable, right? And I'm not surprised, to be honest, because a lot of people, I want to advertise on Facebook, so I want to get my message out to the world, to a cold audience who've never seen my ads before, who have, I'm just going out there and I'm going for the most difficult thing you can do on Facebook, and I'm still going to start with that. That's definitely not what I recommend. I'm not surprised, because that's what a lot of people are saying you should do. Hey, yeah, you should, advertise and just target whoever. But the reality is that the best thing you can do is first start with people who are an audience that are as likely as possible to actually purchase your product, right? Because if you cannot even make your ads work with those people, then how's it going to work for people who are not interested in your product yet, right? So I call this the inside out method, right? So if I'm going to sketch this out, let's say this is an audience. This is everyone on Facebook, right? And right here, I'm going to call different layers. Right here in the center, we've got a hot audience. That is hot audience. Those are people that are they've seen your product. They have been to your website, but they haven't yet purchased yet, right? They're interested, but usually, as you may actually know, people need to see something for at least 7 times on average, the rule of 7, before they actually consider to actually purchase. So it's not like they just came to your website and right in the first get-go, yeah, I'll purchase that, or yes, I'll schedule a call, or whatever your goal is, right? So, but there are a lot of people that have maybe visited your website, but they're just, they're not yet, they haven't pulled the trigger. And then around that, there's a lot, which is I would say right here is a warm audience. And those are people that, they've maybe heard about you, they're already aware of the issue that you're solving with your business, because every business or every product or service, you solve a certain problem or you solve a certain need. And they're already aware of that. And then outside of that, these are they're cold, right? Cold audience right here on the outside. So that's what you would target. If you would say hey, I want to target based on the interest, I don't know, if you're selling golf stuff, I'll just target golf as an interest, as a keyword, right? That's those people. And those people are the hardest to convert, because they don't know who you are. They may not even be aware of the problem they're having, right? So you need to really educate them you're actually having this problem and we have a solution. And not just that, but we are the best solution, and you need to open up your wallet. In other words, a lot of steps to actually take, which is not impossible, but I'm just saying that if you start out, it is not the best way to actually do it, right? So if you're starting out with Facebook ads, what I would recommend is actually go for the hot audience. And actually, there's an even better way you can do it inside the hot audience, which would be basically a retargeting audience, people who have visited your website, but they left without buying. But you can even drill deeper, and that is inside your retargeting audience. There is an audience, let's call that the super hot. Those are the people that have been on your website, and they've actually, you know, they actually shown engagement. Because some people, they just go to your website and they bounce back right back. They'll just go to your site, and within a second they'll know, it's not for me, right? And others, they're gonna like be on your website, they're gonna scroll around, they're gonna scroll down all the way to the page, to the bottom of your page. They're on your site for a couple minutes, right? Things like that. Like, if they do that, they're actually truly engaged, they're actually truly interested. And you can target those people using a tool called Connect Retarget, which is one of the tools that we have. It's called Connect Retarget. What it does, it allows you to do behavioral retargeting. So you can say, for example, hey, I only want to show ads to people who've been to my website, but only those who actually scroll down to a certain percentage, right? So I know they're engaged. Or only those who spend more than 40 seconds on my site. Or there's a bunch of other things you can do as well. It's really, really cool. And with that, you can target your most passionate, super hot audience of people. And what I would do if you're starting out with Facebook, start with those people, the people who are almost like, they're so engaged, they just haven't bought, they just haven't purchased yet, and try to make your ads work with that. I mean, if you're targeting those people, you almost cannot go wrong with it. And here's the cool part that you need to do, the important part actually that you need to do once you're doing that. Let's say you start an ad with that. I'm guessing that your first ad is going to be profitable, but there's a but. I don't want you to stop there, right? Let's say you create a Facebook ad towards those people. Like, it's really hard not to make it profitable. It's probably going to be profitable for you. But let's say you would spend $1 and you would get $3 back out. There's two things you can do. You can either jump in the air and be happy, cool, or you can get to work and actually improve. You can, instead of just accepting that your ad is profitable, then what you do, using this audience, which is like low barrier or low risk, right? You start testing things out. Like, what if I try a different ad? Could I actually, instead of 1 to 3, can I get the ROI to like 5 or 6? Because if you're doing that, if you're trying to get it to convert better, what you're actually doing is you are learning. You are learning the Facebook ad system. You are learning what your audience actually responds to. You are basically creating the muscle that you need in order to then, once you're comfortable, move away. Like, that's why I call it the inside out method. Then you start moving away from the inside, and you move to your hot audience, and then you start moving over to your warm audience. And only like if a certain stage you're actually profitable. So if you're at the, like, if you cannot get your warm audience to be profitable, then don't actually move over to the cold audience, right? Because you're not there yet. You're not ready yet. First of all, make the warm audience also profitable, and then you can move over there, right? And that's really the stage. Well, there are some people, they're trying to work from the outside in, which is not going to work because you're starting out with the hardest possible thing. And obviously it can work, but you will need to spend a lot of money for just testing it out. While what I would suggest you to do, start with the lowest hanging fruit first, from inside out, your super hot audiences. Play around with the Facebook interface, get familiar with it, get confidence in it. That's just as important, because if you're spending $100 or $500 on Facebook ads and you're just losing it all, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna stop advertising, right? That's how it works, because then you're like, I'll just try something else because this doesn't work for my business. And it'd be logical to think that, right? So there you have it. If you want to be profitable right from the start, make sure to work inside out. Start with your hottest audience. Get connected target. Retarget those who've already, who've been on your website, who have actually spent time on your website, who scroll down, like who's shown that they're interested in your product. They just haven't purchased just yet. And once you have those profitable, then you start retargeting everyone. And once you have those profitable, you go out to your warm audience, and then you expand from there. And with that having said, I'll see you in the next video.